Okay, so bear with me because not used to this. But let's say you want to add a mod, and I'm just gonna pick a song. Let's pick this one.
3, 2, 1, go!
No, I'm just gonna show it off a little bit so you know what I'm trying to go for. And we're gonna try to add it to the game. So there are camera flashes, death notes, and alt animations. We're not gonna get into animating, not my thing. But yeah, that is the song. So you would first want to start off by going into replicated storage, modules. Let me just expand this a bit. Songs. You want to add a folder. This is the name of the folder is going to be the name of the mod, which it is Rev Mixed. Now, inside of the folder, you add another folder. And that's going to be the name of the song, and I'm pretty sure it's Fisty Gloves. Spelled like that, probably. Yeah. Next thing, you want to find it in the game. Most songs are going to be found inside of the mods folder, and then data. And here's the JSON. What you want to do with it is you want to press Ctrl A to select all, press Ctrl C to copy, and then you want to add a module script and name it the difficulty. We're going to do hard. Now you can name it any difficulty. However, there's like an array that has a list of difficulties, and if you pick a difficulty that is not in that list, which you can add to, it won't work. But you want to do return, and then this funky thing. You want to just paste it. Now, right here, it says what the song is. Now, since I want to use like a capital letter for it to start, you have to name it exactly it. So we're just going to copy that, paste it here. Bam. Now, needs voices. If you're only adding the instrumental, set that to false. And when I'm looking, I already see that there is events. So we don't need to do anything to make events work. Let me just make sure there isn't a mania variable. Okay. Then you want to go to song IDs and scroll to the bottom, add a new list. I like to comment what mod it is for organization. Make sure to add semicolon at the end of the brackets, curly brackets. Otherwise, you can't add anything beyond the list. mostly just check if there's any red errors pointing out what you did wrong. Now, we're going to go to Asset Manager, Audio, and we're going to add some audio from the game. Okay. So sometimes Roblox will reject this because they do what they want to do. Now, most of the time, what gets it blocked, oh yeah, make sure to delete the Roblox asset ID thing and just leave the numbers. Sometimes Roblox will reject like dialogue and kind of sucks because Roblox filter is not very good and it does not recognize what words are being said, so it may like falsely accuse you of uploading something inappropriate for the game. So yeah, there we added instrumental and voices. Now, at this point, the song works. We just go over here. It's gonna do its thing.
1, 2, 3, go!
I noticed that there isn't camera flashes. So I'm assuming the game has its own version of camera flashes. So that would have to be added inside of the mod chart. Let me just verify that though. Flash camera, yeah, that's not a that's like a made up event. So you want to go back to the game files and you want to go to custom events. You probably find flash camera right here. Yeah. Now, to add the mod chart, I added this template scripts folder so that you could just copy it and like move it there. Now, in order for it to be considered as a mod chart, you have to put .lua at the end of it. Obviously because it's Lua code, but I don't know. So let's just name it event handle.lua. So first things first, you don't need the timer. It's arbitrary. Then we want to do event trigger, which is a function. I'm not gonna really go in depth on how these mod charts work. It's pretty pretty helpful. I have GitHub page that explains in depth about it. Okay, so those are the parameters. The first one is the name of the event, second one is value 1, third one is value 2, and you could make it go on, but we're not going to. The thing I gotta think about is the flash camera. Okay, so current event. Yeah, it's going to be all lowercase. If you can't figure out what the name is, you just do a print event, and it'll just put in the output log whatever it is that's being triggered. So flash camera. Yeah, you don't want to use this because it uses. I have put in place a way where the speed modifier does not affect this if you directly use gamehandler.flash. So you would want to do gamehandler.process event. Forget the name of everything. Okay, so here it is. Here are all the events, set camera zoom, between camera zoom. We're looking for camera flash. Now, value 1 is... I think it may be the speed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the speed. So, to make it white, you want to do FFFFF. How many F is? It's like 6. Comma, value 1. Okay. That should be fine. Let's just test it. I'm gonna lower the graphics because I don't think the performance is doing well for some reason. Something happened. Unable to convert characters to hex value. Okay. Did I? I didn't do enough F's. F's. Okay.
1, 2, 3, go!
Happened again. I would convert characters to hex value. Oh, it is value 2. Dang, I don't know why I thought it was value 1. Okay. See, I confused myself here because value 2 is on the first parameter and value 1 is on the second. Jeez. What a dumpster fire.
One, two, three, go!
There we go. So that seems to be working. Now, another pro tip is that this event handle mod chart is inside of the song. So this mod chart will only apply to this song, but if we add it outside and put it into the mod folder, it's not going to apply to all songs. And since this is supposed to handle the events, this is ideal. Now I did see a set cam zoom, and if I check game handler, there's set cam speed, and there's set camera zoom. So we're going to add that. The reason why I don't add it into here is because a lot of games use whatever their named variables are very differently. So if I were to like replace how CycEngine does it, then a lot of mods will break simply because they do it differently. Let's pull up set cam zoom. Okay. So it sets the default camera zoom to value 1. If value 2 is equal to a blank string. Value 1 is, I think, the target value, and the value 2 is the time. So I'm thinking it might be the same to how the original works. Because it seems to work like, yeah, it kind of works like tween camera zoom. So let's do that. Value 1. If it's really exactly the same, then that would be weird. Hold on. What? Yeah, it does it immediately.
1, 2, 3, go.
Well, it's zoomed in, so. Zoomed out. Oh, it's zooming in and out, so let's call that a win. Okay. I'm gonna check if there's any other events. Seems like it's toggle trail. Okay. So trails is like where you can see the transparent version of the last few frames. I'm not sure how you do that on Roblox Studios, but I've tried it. It didn't really work out. I kind of just fiddled with the animations and just made a lot of things really not work. Another thing, uh, the the oh my goodness, English, the English language. The volume for the song was kind of quiet, so I'm gonna look through here to see what changes that. Did I not write it down here? Oh my goodness. But yeah. So for songs that are quieter, you can turn up the volume for them. So we're just gonna turn up the volume for this up to 3.5. Give it a volume. That's not a real variable. Also, it is kind of nighttime in the song, so let's set the clock time to 5. 5 is like night, and 6.5 is like midday. I think, possibly. But the default value for the volume is 2, so we're just raising it by like 1.5. And hopefully the song sounds a bit louder.
1, 2, 3, go.
I mean, it does. It's still extremely quiet. Okay, so let's raise it up to 4.5. And next thing we're going to work on is the death notes. Okay, so these two functions, player one note hit, is when you, the player, hits a note. Player two note hit is when the other person hits the note. Now, that stays the same for whichever side of the stage you are on. So we basically have to do it both ways, since either player could be on either side of the stage. Let's close that. Now, let's find the note. I'm assuming it's the boxing note. Yes, there's not even code for it. I think it's the punch note. Okay. Yeah. So, if you hit the punch note, boyfriend dodges, and the camera shakes. So let's add that. Note equals punch. Then game handler dot process event camera shake. I'm checking again, but I'm pretty. That's screen shake. So close. Now the values. Now I know there's like an event for. So let's just first try the reverse way, which is not ideal, but I have dealt with like an event that this function that like did it backwards, did the values backwards for some reason. So I'm gonna try that first. And then I forget the. I think it's. Okay, I'm gonna go to this script right here because this has animations at play. Yeah, it's that. So you would find the animations inside the animations tab. Boyfriend. I think I think it's uppercase, but we're just gonna try lowercase. Now that looks weird. Uppercase. And enable a special animation for boyfriend. I don't think we need that. And now there's gonna be player one note miss equals function note if note equals. And then I think it's player stats dot health. Yeah, for some reason this mod like checks minus equals 1. So it is equal to itself minus 1, which is that basically. I'm gonna verify. Yeah, it's player stats. So ideally, once this code right here works, we're just gonna copy and paste it and just replace the ones with the twos, so it works for both players.
One, two, three, go!
Oh right, okay. So the code isn't gonna work until we actually make the notes punch. And to do that, we have to make sure what they're called. Yeah, they're called punch. So inside of the modules, you're gonna find a script called note. You want to scroll down to starts listing the notes. Now, for just to make it easier on yourself, you can just copy a note that already does a similar function, like the hurt note. And you can reduce the hitbox, but we're not gonna do that. Should press, yes. Well, true, but mispunish, true. Can sustain, false. So it needs two things. It needs the image and it needs the XML. Actually, since there isn't whole pieces, we can delete these. Bam. So let's go back here. Go to images. Now we're going to search for punch. Okay then. Guess it's not called punch. Ref punch. Here it is. Ooh, wait. It's only one image. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. So if you want to get to this screen easier, you can just copy the folder location. And then we're going to go to Asset Manager. We're going to go to Images, Download, paste it in. Bam. Okay. So copy the ID. And you want to go to the assets inside of modules. And you want to duplicate one of these and just name it whatever. And now I'm going to replace the image with that. Bam. Now the XML, can delete that. And copy all of that. Paste it in between that. Okay. Weird how it has like a lot of extra nonsense. Oh yeah, just name it to what you're checking for in the mod chart. And these comments of what mod it goes to have been here since I downloaded YAFN Engine. So I guess I'm gonna follow the formula. Now you want to go to Death Notes, ref punch dot XML. Now sometimes the note would be like not the right size, and you'd have to like change the factor right here. Oh yeah, for this to work on, hold on, let me find it, on like different manias, you want to, if you see right here, there's like a if the mania is greater. And we're just gonna, you know, copy that, go back to our punch note right here, and paste it. Oh, this is like a, this is the leather engine XML, but all of them are the same, right? Okay, then I don't understand the purpose of it all being so diluted. So I think this is, this true thing stands for a looping frame, and you want to set that to false because it's not animated. Next, we can probably delete most of this because it's like all the same. There's only like 3 things. We check the image, which I closed. Oh, okay. One thing I almost forgot about is the note groups. Note group. You want to copy the default. Actually, let's not copy the default. Let's copy this. Rename it to rev mixed. And just bam bam right there. And to top it all off, pretty sure you have to add a variable in song IDs called note group. Okay, we got the XML. We added the note so the images will show up. Oh, right. Forgot to do that. Should work.
One, two, three, go.
Look at that. And it does damage. Now the only problem was I didn't see boyfriend play the animation. So we're gonna lowercase that. Make it lowercase. I'm actually gonna verify. Yeah, it's play animation. So we can close the XML and the note group. And still, the song was super quiet. So let's just ramp up the volume. Unless I named it wrong. Oh, I did. Oh, that's funny. Let me just check. It's voice volume, dude. Okay. So now that the volume's actually gonna change. Let's go over here. And we honestly don't need a player 2 function because the player 2 will also be running the script. And it's gonna register for themselves. I mean, unless you wanted... Oh, right. You still want... You still want the other player to, like, play their animation. So let's test it again.
One, two, three, go.
Oh wow, it's louder. I'm assuming I got something mixed up with the play animation. Oh no, I'm right. That is exactly how it is. I'm trying to remember what that thing was that I did that like cancels the animation to make sure it plays. Well, if I just type in animation, animation, not whatever I just typed. Okay, remind me to cut this part out. Oh right, there's the second parameter. If I make the second parameter true, then it should override the animation. Honestly, it should be like a number for like priority.
1, 2, 3, go!
I'm pretty sure though that the animation should be playing, but it's probably being canceled because there's another animation being played. Oh, I could. Okay, here's a fix. It's a go back to note groups, close assets. Bam. Okay. So that will make the note have no animation, and therefore not cancel.
1, 2, 3, go!
The animation that's supposed to be played. There we go. I don't know if you can see it, but it's playing. yeah, I don't know why I'm forgetting so much, but there was a mud shirt. Yeah, there was the block animation, but I'm not animating this time. And there's the cool, funky credits, which I'm not doing either. So, last thing to add is the icons, which, if I remember correctly, it's this one. Now, when adding songs, you have the freedom to choose whatever the player is. And that's already a decent name. So we're going to stick with that. Alright, we can't do dashes. So we're just going to get rid of the dashes. Actually, it's easier if you just copy the last one and just change the name. And just get the image in there, copy the ID. Now, because I updated the system, the ID for the normal and dead can be exactly the same. All you have to think about is the offset. Yeah. So, semicolon. Offset dead is for the dead for the dead icon, the offset of the image is 150 pixels to the right. So when that happens, it's gonna move stuff. And inside of characters, you're gonna find at the bottom here the health bar colors. And the icon color, that's the health bar colors. Bam. And it has a preview that looks exactly right. Copy and paste that. Copy the name. Paste it. And import icons. Is that the right colors? I guess. And close that. Now the icons should be working. And that's probably just about it.
1, 2, 3, go!
Now, in this engine, mine, you can have a lot of mod charts, but I don't recommend doing that. Just keep it to like 2 mod charts maximum. Right now there's only 1 mod chart. And you could change the playback rate. Let's do 1.7. Just make it ridiculous.
1, 2, 3, go!
And if you could tell, the animations are like also quicker. Although I made the playback rate setting in the experimental section. It's really not. I've already done a lot of experimenting. Weird. Those boxing notes. Ah, I know. I probably know what that is. Because in the mod chart, yeah, in the mod chart it probably checks if it's a boxing note, and they're gonna play that boxing animation. But very last thing, song info. Song info is like how you customize what it looks like. So it's called Rev Mixed. This is the order of the mods. And then here's a template. Oh yeah, I didn't copy the last curly bracket. But the song is called Fisticuffs. You don't need a comma if there's only one song. This is an example. Text, color. You just make it like kind of red. I plan on changing this system, make like background color an entirely different thing, and background style. Oh yeah, I must have messed up the song info. Yeah, I did. And that should work. Just like that. Ignore this score thing. It doesn't work. I'm not really a savant at this coding stuff. And it's editable. Yeah. Not really the best choice to make it editable. Whatever. That's it. It works. Okay, bye now.